Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new review of Family or Fiance Season 2, Episode 4, Vanessa and Mitch. Baby, honey, this episode was something else, child. A waste of an entire hour, but y'all know I'm going to bring you the reviews nonetheless. If you are new here, then welcome. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, we're introduced to Vanessa and Mitch. She's like, I love the story that he tells of us when we first get together. Girl, control them lips and get yourself together, honey. They've been together for a while. They're engaged, okay? He said they met in the lounge and she was in the VIP section, honey. Sound like a club to me. And she said that she loves the story that he tells, and he said it was her vocabulary. She was like a walking thesaurus, and he had to holler. And she wowed him. Moving forward, she says their love is beyond human comprehension. Baby, the foolery that was going on all up and through this episode, beyond human comprehension, really? Okay, girl. It was a lot of things beyond human comprehension this episode. Those wigs, honey, so much. Just so much. But we're going to get into it as we get into it. So Mitch said, when he told his family he was engaged, they felt like he was moving too fast, but none of them took the time to get to know who she really is. In the car, she said she wondered if her mom was going to cause chaos and start trouble, or if everyone would adore her. Child, it definitely is not the latter, okay? Nobody adored her, not even you. Tried to put her in a home and everything, but child, we gonna get there. She said, when she told her mom about the engagement, she was irate. Mitch said, her mom said she should be with a ball player or a movie star. Honey, not a movie star. That sounds so old school. She should be with a movie star. Child, movie stars aren't even movie stars anymore. She said, her mother would disown her if she marries Mitch. Well, that might be a blessing in disguise. Moving forward, they arrive to the house, right? And they get greeted by Tracy. Hey, girl. They go in and they start looking around and talking like they're buying it. They're like, oh, I wasn't expecting the high ceilings. Look at the entryway. Well, what about this view? Honey, it's 3 days, okay? Y'all are there for 3 days. This is not an open house. Come in, sit down, work through the issues, and go head on, child. So then they go in to have their first meeting with Tracy, and they've been together or engaged since February of 2019. They weren't sitting down 5 minutes before Vanessa starts telling us how he's hurt her. She's like, he's hurt me so bad. He's known as a ladies' man, and when they don't talk or they get into a fight, he goes out with other women. Okay. So he's one of those that hates to be alone. That's that, baby. Listen to me. Let me just tell you from experience, honey, that is not going to change. And it's not going to change in a marriage either. Okay. As soon as there is any sort of conflict, he will run to another woman. I'm just telling you right now. So Dr. Tracy was like, well, have you cheated? He's like, well, cheating is subjective because our fights have been vicious and it feels like it's over. Honey, either you cheated or you didn't. But judging from that answer, honey, it's sounding like it's a yes. So Tracy said, so who says that we're done when y'all break up? Like, who says it? He said, every time it's her. She said, if you want this to work, you have to stop saying that and you have to offer him security. You have to say, I'm not going anywhere. Vanessa said, oh, but that's not true. I will go somewhere. Well, honey, if you're just going to go back to him, then stop threatening him, okay? If you're going to do that, then you should be ready for the consequences. Because with a man, all they have to hear is I'm done. Even if they know it's not the truth, honey, it gives them free reign to act up. And then they say, well, you said it was over. Honey, don't do that. Child. So Tracy said, I heard you were married when the two of you met. She was like, oh, I prefer to say, I was going through a divorce. Well, honey, tomato, tomato. Tracy said, so what was that marriage like? Baby. Vanessa goes, oh my God, it was great. I mean, the finances, I felt taken care of. I was just so carefree. Well, child, why did you divorce him then? So what I'm hearing is that he had money and you didn't have to lift a finger. Honey, that's what I'm hearing. That's the translation from everything was great, but we're no longer together. Something happened or you would still be with him. So, honey, I'm not understanding. So Mitch said, Vanessa's real flashy. She likes the name brand things. And she said, my mama raised me to always look my best, to be a trophy wife. So your mother is Kris Jenner and she wants to make you Kim Kardashian. Girl, okay. Dr. Tracy started asking him about kids, right? She said, so what about kids? Do any of you have any biological children? She said, I don't have any. And he said he didn't have any either. So then he said, yeah, I have a daughter that's not biologically mine, but she's from a previous marriage. She's 20. So then Tracy said, that's commendable. Look, it really is, because half these men don't take care of their biological kids, let alone taking on the responsibility of someone else's children. So I do pat him on the back for that. Dr. Tracy said, it just tells me that you take responsibility and you're committed. So then Lips, aka Vanessa, because child, those things are big. Do y'all hear me? She got some big soup coolers on her, honey, to match them big gums and little baby teeth. Honey, I was done. I said, child, not the mama acting like this a trophy. Child, let's move on. She said, he told her he had never gotten anyone pregnant. Then she found out that he had a baby and the lady was living with him because she's a grown woman. Okay, she's 20 and she lives with him. Well, honey, he didn't lie. He doesn't biologically have any children. Honey, Vanessa just wants to be the only one in his life. I'm convinced. So Tracy said, okay, so it sounds like trust is a major issue, honey, and is. So Vanessa starts saying, she can't trust him with her heart and doesn't feel safe. And she feels like if they got married that he would step up and be the husband that she needs him to be, but it's just too risky. Well, why did you get engaged, honey? Clearly you don't trust him in any aspect of your life. Did you just want the free vacation and the Airbnb or what? Because I'm just trying to figure out you swooned and oohed and awed over that ex. And then the man that you have sitting beside you, you can't trust him with your heart. Child, I'm not about to play with y'all. Honey, let's get on through this. So Tracy said both of them need to create a safe space. Vanessa is bringing her mom in her wig, and they're coming, and her cousin and her friend. Her mother's concern is him being able to afford her. Not afford her. Child. Baby, that mama in her synthetic wigs, she needs to be worried about being able to afford a good human one. Okay, that's what we need to do. Let's not worry about who can afford her. Let's worry about you. So she said, her cousin's concerns are the roller coasters, the ups and downs in the relationship. Her friend Yinka, she definitely accepts him. And he was like, yeah, she's really cool. So she was like, that's because she doesn't know the real you. So do you want them to like him or not? Okay, I'm just so confused. And Tracy was like, so you don't tell her all of the bad things? She was like, no, I don't tell her those kinds of things. Okay. So you want them to actually dislike him. I'm so confused, honey, but I guess as we go on, I'll start to understand. So from Mitch's side, his brother and his two sisters are coming. His brother just wants him to be happy. Baby, I love that brother. The brother was the star of the show. Do y'all hear me? I loved everything about that brother. That brother was something else. So he just wants him to be happy, and his sisters feel like he's choosing Vanessa over them. So Tracy gives them their task. Mitch will do his 5-year plan with her family since her mom is so concerned about the money. And Vanessa's task is to play top 5 red hot questions with his family. His family gets to ask her the top burning questions that they've wanted to know the answers to. So Vanessa's family and her friends, they show up. Her mom is like, I'm not going to let her get married. I will do everything in my power to stop it and make her see the light. Girl, anyway, child, do whatever it takes to stop that wig from running away from your scalp. Honey, that wig is sitting on your eyebrows, but that's neither here nor there. So her family shows up, and him and the brother are twinning. Honey, I guess the day calls for a white button down and tan pants. So I was like, child, what? Are they passing them out down there or what? Baby dressed like straight twins. So his brother said, I've talked to Vanessa and, for only an hour and a half in my whole entire life. Honey, not your whole life. You haven't known her that long. That brother's something else. So all of them go into the common area to voice their concerns and talk about their task, right? So his sister said her concerns were Vanessa accepting his daughter. His brother said, you need to slow down, okay? Y'all need to come together with a plan. Do what you want to do to please you. You're going to always be my brother, and I'm going to always love you, okay? And I'm going to hold it down for you, P.O.P., hold it down. I'm like, oh, child, what is happening? So while he talking, her mama is over there saying, well, you marry him then. I'm like, mama, pipe down, honey. It's not the time to speak your speech. It's not your turn. So Mitch was like, thank you, bro, honey, because he's trying to hurry up and cut him off because the mama is getting rude, okay? And so then his other sister said, my problem is she doesn't accept your daughter. Once again, his mom is like, it's not his daughter. She's like, I'm speaking to Vanessa. So then his brother piped up and he said, is it your daughter, bro? He said, absolutely. So the mother said, oh, okay, so the DNA would say it's his daughter. Mom, you are concerned about the wrong thing. Where is your man? Did she have a father growing up? And if you met a man that you found suitable for you, would you want him to accept your child? I think that you would. So I'm not understanding why you're upset at the fact that he is stepping up to be a father figure in someone's life. Honey, we need more of that. Child, what in the superficial hair ain't combed is going on here? So then the sister is like, do you love your daughter? She said, I'm obsessed with her. His sister said, that's the problem, honey, and is. So then Yinka, her friend, said the communication, that's the problem with them going months without talking to each other. Her cousin said, she wants her to enjoy the single life and don't rush to get married just to get married. Enjoy your time. And of course, she's already been married before. But what I want to know is, how old is Vanessa? Because she actually looks like she could be her mom's sister. She looks older than her mom. I don't know if it's the surgeries and whatnot, but it's given very much aged, honey, like processed cheese. Child, now it's mom's turn, okay? So Mommy Dearest says, I don't think he's ready. He's not financially stable and he has a questionable past and claims a child that isn't his. That was an ignorant statement to say that, okay? Because the fact that he's willing to accept a child that isn't his shows he has some character, okay? About as much character as that wig. Child, let me leave that legal wig alone. Child, he has some character, okay? She's like, I want her to be the baby. I want someone better. She's not a baby. She is a grown woman. I want her to get back with her ex-husband. Oh, child, Mitch is better than most men, honey. Because most men would have had a few words for mama. Obviously, all that glitters wasn't gold, honey, so she got divorced. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you trying to piece them back together? I guess because his coins aren't coining. Okay, I got it. It seems to me, honey, that her mom wants to make sure she marries a man with money so Vanessa can take care of her. That's what it's really seeming like. She said, I want you to get back with that ex. Honey, he still cares about you. He still calls me. He said he's willing to get divorced so y'all can be together. Well, I hope his new wife is not watching, honey. And not a divorce. If he was pining away for her all that bad, he wouldn't be married. Mama is trouble, honey. If I were Mitch, I wouldn't want to even deal with a lady like her. I would not even want to marry into that family. You want to deal with that for forever? So Vanessa tells them their task and they break up into groups, right? So as they're walking, her mom's going to say, I do not like his sister. I mean, look at her hair. Who does your hair? Ma'am, you are wearing this synthetic masterpiece that's crawling away from your scalp, pulled down over your eyebrows, and you talking about her hair? Honey, don't do it. Don't do it. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with her hair. It was nice. Child, something is wrong with this lady. His brother said, my impressions of Vanessa's family is that they're bougie and fake. And is. Vanessa starts playing the game. Her first question is, how much money does he need to make for you to be happy forever? You need to be asking her mama that, okay? Because she's the one that needs the money, clearly. She said, well, definitely in the meals, I need that, and that's per year. I don't want you to just have $1 million. You need to be in millions a year. I want safety and I want security. Now, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Shout out to Kanye West. Girl, anywho. So the next question was, why do you believe your mom is so concerned about money? Vanessa said, because she struggled financially. That's why, I haven't had any kids because I don't want to struggle. So she wants you to find a rich spouse instead of being the rich spouse. Rest on your own laurels. Like, why are you trying to make sure you secure a bag through a man? Be the bag, honey. What is wrong with you? Your mama ain't teaching you nothing. Outside, Mitch is discussing his 5-year plan. So the first question was, how do you plan on supporting my little girl? She's a grown woman, but let's move forward. He said, I own a security company right now. I do private security for some law firms, some clubs, lounges, all that. So then her friend said, and what about homes? Her mom goes, he doesn't have one because he doesn't have any money. Mitch said, actually, I have 3 properties I own. One of them is paid off completely. Here go mama. She set all up. Honey, she lit completely up. I did not know that. Honey, smiling from ear to ear, them teeth showing. Girl, gone. Gone, wig. Gone, wig. Girl, goodbye. He said, there's a lot that you don't know about me. She said, yeah, I only know the bad things. Of course. See, and this is the thing. You know what? I used to do that. I used to run to my mom and tell her all the negative things that are going on in my relationship. So then when she finally sees him, then she got an attitude, honey, because I've told her everything that he's done to me under the sun. And then I run right back over there. Okay. So what you need to do is keep all of your private business to yourself. Unless you are in dire straits, there is no need to tell everybody what's happening in your relationship, because when the two of you reconcile, then they're going to be side-eyeing him. So it's best to just keep things to yourself. So they asked him how he came to be a father, right? And he said he was married. He didn't fall in love with his wife, but he fell in love with the kid. And, at 3 years old, she became his best friend. She would call him on the phone, try to see what he was doing. And, that's why she's still in his life. And you know what? That is a very long time to be in her life. From 3 all the way to 20. Baby, she is a very important part. I don't know now, Vanessa, honey. I don't know. So they're asking Vanessa if she wants to be a step parent. She said, no, I don't have the parenting skills. Well, we know that's true, honey. Look at your example. She says she doesn't have the tools. Listen, I respect her for being honest, but just say I'm spoiled and I want all of the attention, honey. I may not even want kids of my own because I want my man to cater to me. Just say that, because that's exactly what you're giving. You are giving, I don't ever want anyone to come in and steal any of my attention. I'm a spoiled brat. I like everything to be all about me all the time. And I'm assuming she's an only child, because if she weren't, then there will be siblings there. And I didn't hear her mom mention having any other kids either. So I'm thinking she has that only child syndrome. So, honey, she ain't trying to be nobody's stepmama. Vanessa said, I made an effort in the first 2 months, but that ship has sailed. Well, I don't know if these two should continue, because he has claimed her as his own. And that's going to be a point of contention. So I think you may want to cut your losses, okay? So then they asked her, how would she feel if she found out that Mitch has never been faithful? She said, I just get a lump in my throat, but he has never done right by me. And girl, so then they also asked him if he's still having sex with other women. He said, when it's been 6 weeks, no talking, I'm thinking it's over. So, I do something to get over it, because I've never felt like this about anybody before. I'm trying to heal myself. Sir, you did not answer the question. Are you currently sleeping with other women? He's like, I've never felt this way about a woman. Weren't you married, honey? What about her? You didn't feel this way about her? Child, you kind of got to love somebody that asked him to marry you or something. Child, okay. Then they asked him, did you sleep with the stripper? He said, these are people from all walks of life. Child, Mitch turned into a straight Martin Luther King, honey. He started giving I have a dream speech. Do y'all hear me? I have a dream that one day I can sleep with women from all walks of life. Boy, shut up. Okay, Mitch Luther King, honey, proceed. He said, they chose to do that, and I don't judge them. He said, I know you and Vanessa, y'all do, but I don't sit high enough and look down on somebody. Her mom said, well, I can. Honey, you need to look down on that wig. Oh, child, I just hate it. Lady, stop twirling that stiff wig. Y'all have no room to judge anybody. Child had enough nerve to be sitting there twisting the end of them stiff ends. I said, what is happening? Child, hair sticking straight up. So they said, you need to tell your mom that nobody's perfect. We're back over here with Vanessa. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Ay, but you're perfect for me. Shout out to J. Cole. She said, she hasn't accomplished much, so I'm her greatest accomplishment. See, her mom is living vicariously through her. She birthed her, and she's trying to correct her life's mistakes through Vanessa. Mama, you cannot rewrite your past. She is not you. She's an extension of you, honey, which ain't saying much, but she is not you. So then they sit down to dinner, right? Vanessa said, my day was really intense. They were asking all kinds of questions. So her mom said, look, I worked hard to create this science experiment. Not science. Ugh, child. Why would you get on national TV and call your child a science experiment? She said, I worked hard to create this science experiment, so I screen who she dates. Ooh, child, that mom is insufferable, honey. It's okay to want the best for your child, but my God, honey, Vanessa is not perfect. You probably ran that ex off too. Talking about you've been talking to him, probably begging him to come back. Girl, so then she tells the table Mitch is a cheater, and every time they get into an argument, he goes and sleeps with a stripper. Now, what do y'all think? Do y'all feel like 6 weeks of no contact means that you're through? Is he cheating? Or did he just do what they do? And honey, you do what you do when you on a break. I want to know how y'all feel about that, because to me, I don't feel like he cheated. They weren't together 6 months. 6 weeks. That's over a month. So, I mean, if I haven't spoken to someone, I'm assuming that we're done. And she stated when they were with Dr. Tracy that she would tell him, look, we're over. So, like I said, a man gonna be a man, honey. So I'm sure he was assuming we're really over. It's been over a month. But I just want to know how y'all feel about that. So then her mom turns right around and says, well, during their fights, Vanessa is single. Well, honey, if she's single, that means he's single too. So technically he didn't cheat, according to you. So they're going back and forth. And he says, well, you could have been sleeping around too. Her mom said, no, she's not sleeping around. She'll put her hand on a Bible. I'm like, oh, girl, hush. She was like, that's why your little dinky is going to fall off. Not your little dinky. He says, it's really not that little extra daughter. Now listen to me. Normally, I wouldn't condone choosing violence with someone's parents. But I mean, this lady is downright disrespectful. So I guess he feels like, all bets are off. That was a bit crass, but I mean, it's still her mama. But y'all, I'm just so conflicted. I just really don't know, honey. But I guess since she's taking jabs and speaking her speech, you gonna speak your speech. Her mom said, you sleep with him? Honey, and does? What you think they've been doing? She's like, do you kiss him? Vanessa said, yeah, I do sometimes. Her mom said, oh, our relationship has forever changed. She is so dramatic. Oh, my goodness. Day 2. They come downstairs and there's pictures of her and that ex everywhere. Honey, her mom needs a psych evaluation. How do you think this is okay? This is so disrespectful. She's like, Mom, why is this out here? Mitch said, I don't know how you can be extremely disrespectful and then command respect. Mitch, I have to agree, honey. I have to agree. Her mom said, I want you to rethink this. Lady, let it go. Clearly something was lacking. Honey, this is beyond disrespectful. So then they go meet with Dr. Tracy. Mitch tells her that his past came up and he didn't like it, but he owned it. Tracy said, the big issue is around the stripper and what happened during the breakup. Vanessa gets on her soapbox and she says that she's all these things, this, that, and the third, and a bag of chips. And she said to tear that down because of a mistake he made isn't fair to her. So then Dr. Tracy said, but it's not a mistake he made. It's a mistake you made together. But Vanessa said, I do not engage in that. She said, you know what you engaged in? Pulling the rug from under someone you love. Listen, I used to play those stupid games. Let me tell you something. I used to play those stupid games after one argument. Honey, we arguing about something small. And I'll be like, you know what? It's over. Because I wanted them to chase me. That's when I was young and childish. Honey, I ain't know no better. But then my mama told me, she said, listen, don't say it unless you mean it. Because some people don't play games with their heart. Okay, you'll be saying it's over. Then they go get an entirely different relationship. And then you're stuck on the outside looking in because you want to yell it's over every 5 minutes. It could be one too many times. And you know what? I really took that to heart because she was basically just letting me know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She said, so I deserve this? She said, no, but you co-created it. You told him it was over to disempower him. So he went and found his power somewhere else. So you're not blameless. Dr. Tracy. Dr. Tracy asked about her mom's influences on the relationship, right? Vanessa was like, she influences me a lot. Mitch said, she wants Vanessa to be with a wealthy man so she can be secure. I feel that way too, but Dr. Tracy said it ain't so. So let me listen to what she got to say. So Dr. Tracy said basically she's living through Vanessa. She looks in a mirror and she sees Vanessa and she only wants to see the picture perfect image. So if she doesn't have a super successful spouse, then Jennifer won't be happy. Dr. Tracy thinks Vanessa needs to talk to Mommy Dearest as herself so that she gets it. Vanessa was like, no, she's almost dead. Let's just wait it out. So both y'all crazy. Honey, now she's almost dead. Why would you say that about your mom? She's like, it's almost time to put her in a home. Honey, if you think you're going to put that type of mama in a home, you got something different coming, child. She's definitely going to be living under your roof. Better make sure whatever house y'all get, honey, it has a mother-in-law suite. Child, this is ridiculous. She is legit afraid to talk to her mom. She's crying and everything. So then she's like, well, we get along so well. Tracy said, but that's not real. You're getting along because you're going along with anything that she wants. Vanessa said, I'm not willing to be disowned over this. Tracy said, so she'll disown you for being your own separate person? Then you've already been disowned. Baby, somebody get Tracy a raise. Honey, why do y'all need this review? Tracy done summed it up already. Baby, that Tracy be spitting jewels, don't she? So then the two go for a walk, Vanessa and Wig, and she tells her mom how much she cares for Mitch. She said, what if I told you I was pregnant and he was the father? Would you disown me? Her mom said, are you? She said, no. She said, oh, thank God. Vanessa said, look, I'm not perfect. I used to skip school. I run red lights. I'm really a rebel. Her mom said, I feel like my self-worth is through you. You're my biggest accomplishment. You're the best thing that I've done. But you know what? If you really care about Mitch, I will try to give it a second look just for you. So they sit down for another dinner, and Jennifer tells them about the hike that her and Vanessa had and how they're working on things, and she's trying to see things from a different perspective. So I guess Mitch felt moved by that, and he felt moved to address the table, and he apologized for his actions as well. So then the two of them go talk, Vanessa and Mitch. And she said, look, if I use what Tracy said about not ripping the rug from under you, I feel like we'll be fine. He's like, yeah. She said, can I trust you? He said, yes, you fulfill me. Honey, my question is this. Did we touch on the daughter, honey? Doesn't the daughter still live with him? What about that? Have we talked about that? Because I'm not really too sold on the answer that she gave. If the daughter lives with you and she wants to be your wife and you want to move forward, what's going to then happen to the daughter? That's all I'm trying to figure out. Day 3. They meet back up with Dr. Tracy one last time, and she told her how things went with her and her mom and having their talk. And Tracy said, look, remember how it felt when your mom pressured you to be perfect. So the next time you do that to him, I want you to look at him, touch him, and tell him that you don't want to put that pressure on him. So they did a little demonstration of it right then and there. And Mitch said, he felt he needed to work on some things as well. So Tracy said, so how do you think the ceremony is going to go? And they said they don't know if anyone's going to give their blessing in the blessing ceremony. Now listen, I thought this was going to be the first episode where we saw somebody actually speak up, pipe up, speak their speech and say, hey, the two of you do not need to be together. But y'all, let's keep going. It's time for the blessing ceremony. His sister said, well, y'all have my blessing because everything with his daughter was cleared up. When? I guess they edited that part out, honey, because when was it cleared up? His brother said, if y'all think y'all can be together, bro, then I say do it. Y'all know I love that brother. His other sister said, y'all have my blessing as well. So then her friend said yes to the mess. Her cousin said, at first I was hesitant, but after seeing how respectful Mitch is, y'all now have my blessing. I'm trying to figure out what happens in such a short amount of time that makes these people say, I came in here feeling this way, but now I feel this way in 3 days. That just doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess it's just me. So now it's time for Mommy Dearest. She said, my concerns were that ex, honey, and the finances. I was controlling you, but you have my blessing. Honey, listen. And after all that, the update reads, upon returning, Mitch had another breach of trust and they didn't speak for months. Mom regrets giving her her blessing. Their relationship is on a hiatus and the wedding plans are on hold. Child, goodbye. Honey, this wedding was doomed from the start. The marriage is doomed from the start. The relationship was doomed from the start. The surgery is doomed from the start. The wigs are doomed from the start. Child, and that's all there was to the episode. Please comment down below and tell me exactly how you felt about it. I do not feel like these two need to be in a relationship because the mom is still controlling her. They had a 5-minute talk and all things are solved. I don't think so. He's still going to find it out because he's looking at you and your mom. Okay, and he sees what his future is going to be. That brother probably still talking. That mama still wearing that wig. And child, I was not right with the world. Child, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.